Hello, once again. This is KS Sports Dex. I'm here with my panelists to bring you the preview of the Classico, the Copa del Rey final. That will be happening tonight, 8 p.m. sharp. I've got Sweet Mo, who is a Madrid fan, and then the King, who is a Barcelona legend as well. But I'll let them introduce themselves first. So, Sweet Mo, let's go.
Um, Hello guys, I'm Sweet Mo, a die-hard fan of Real Madrid, and I've been supporting Real Madrid since I was 12 years old. By that time, I don't know Real Madrid, but yeah, we take like that. Yes, but then yeah, I'm a Madrid fan, a die-hard one. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for joining. Let's go to the King.
Hello, people. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Deacon, and I am also a very die-hard fan for FC Barcelona. I've been a fan of Barca since I began following football, so it's been quite a few years, and I'm looking forward to this Classico.
All right, thank you. As you can see, I'm your host and I'm Kofi Styles, a Liverpool fan. But tonight we're not gonna talk about Liverpool. It's all about Barcelona. 9 o'clock p.m. in the UK time. The game will be kicking off. And before we get into it, there are some controversies that has been circulating around the internet since yesterday about Real Madrid boycotting their training or press conference due to a referee that has been involved in one of their previous games that they didn't like his officiating. Before we get into that, well, how will you assess it? Let me start with Sweet Mo. What's your take on that issue?
Well, apparently, yeah. The news I saw was that the referee came out to make a comment about his son is being bullied at school, saying that his dad is a thief. But do you blame the kids for that? Kids watch football these days, so they see what goes on the pitch, and if something thing is not going right, they'll know because now technology is all over there. You have VAR and all of this. So the kids that they are telling their colleague or their the guy who goes to school that your dad is a thief might be right because they see what the dad is doing on the pitch. Look at the incidents that happened Copa del Rey final, Barcelona against Real Madrid. When he sent Ronaldo off, said that he dived, right? And there's been other videos of this guy being unfair to Real Madrid and taking some decisions that is not supposed to be. What's supposed to go in favor of Madrid, but then it ends up going in favor of Barcelona. So then I don't blame the kid if they are the kids if they say that man is a thief because he's not being fair. But then as for the boycotting, it was just a rumor. But there's a press conference that came out, and the president of Real Madrid said they were going to play the final. And then, even though what happened about the referee, he thought it would be better to just exchange the referee so that he doesn't feel like people are going to come to him or to his son at school saying that your dad did this or dad did that. So maybe he was thinking it would be better if they put someone else. But then the federation said no, they're gonna stick with that referee. So hey, whatever happens, happens. It's football. We can't sometimes change what happens in the game. If everything being fair and the referees and the VAR being fair to each like both teams, then hopefully we're gonna have an entertainment game. But then hey, what can we say? If you are good, they'll tell you are good. If you are bad, they'll tell you are bad. So the case that they see there's the referee sign at school and say your dad is a thief, they know what the dad is doing. So that's what they say the dad is a thief. Once a thief, always a thief. That's what I
For my take on that, I think it's been harsh. The case has been harsh because we know kids of these days they all watch football and stuff, but you cannot be taking someone's professional to his case to bully him or that. For me, totally, I think it's wrong. I don't agree with
no,
that.
but Kofi, if you right your son or you are doing let's say you've been caught stealing right from
Yeah.
let's say Tesco and then people you come on the news you think your son that's going to go to school then people see you in the news know that they are the father they're not going
Okay,
to back the
No,
kid.
having a
No,
bad game, having a bad game doesn't make you a thief.
no, this is not a
exactly.
bad game.
No,
This is not a
I
bad
think
game.
I
No,
think I disagree with you, Mo. One thing I'm going to say, right? Football, for example, if it goes in your favor, the referee is always going to be your friend. And if it doesn't, that's where it turns
Exactly.
around, right?
Yes.
The problem is the Barcelona don't make these referees. They were appointed by the FA, right? Or the Football Federation. So
Sure.
if it doesn't go in your favor, it doesn't warrant anyone calling the referee names or whatever. He's only doing his job. As a human, you make mistakes, you make errors. So the fact that it goes against Real Madrid doesn't necessarily mean the referee is always going to be in support of Barcelona. So for that, I disagree. Yes, they may have, the kids may be calling, names, the dad name or whatever, but the referee, bear in mind, he's only doing his job, and that's what he get paid for. And then it takes a very, very solid team to bring up referee of such level. So personally, I think it's just being biased. So
no,
let the
but
referee
DJ
do his
King,
job.
if even at your workplace, if you're doing a good job, right, your managers or your supervisor say, "Oh, you are doing a very good job," and so they give you reward. And if you're doing a bad job, they tell you you're doing a bad job. So if you are being trained and
Absolutely.
appointed, yeah, by an FA to be a referee and you are doing your job, do your job diligently. Don't be
Yeah, I
biased on
agree.
the field. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's what I'm
Now,
saying. People are seeing what you're doing, right?
Okay.
now,
If you're
So
a good
the
driver, people will
argument
tell you
is
no.
the
If you're
argument
a good
is
driver, people will tell you you're a good driver. If you're a bad driver, people will tell you you're a bad driver. So if you're a good
the
referee, people will
Madrid
say you're a good
fan
referee. If you're a bad referee, people will say you're a bad referee.
fan
So that I also
fan
disagree with you. You
okay.
understand?
fan.
Let's take this.
Let me come in here.
No, DJ,
Let me
wait,
come in
wait.
here.
1 second, 1 second. Remember this referee, Colina, the Sakura guy. When have you ever seen or someone come out to say that Colina has done a very biased refereeing before or called that guy that he's cheated one team before? Never, because that guy is plain and plain. If you foul the guy is foul. If it's this is that, he's plain and plain. But these days, if you watch this Barcelona, this Spanish referees, they are as bad that to the point whereby even comparing them to English referees is not
Wait,
even
they are
comparable.
bad, they are bad towards all the teams, or they are just bad towards only Madrid.
Not just only Madrid, not just
Okay.
only Madrid. Because even if you watch
So,
Barcelona
more
against
clarity.
Vigo, watch Barcelona
Because
against Vigo, watch Barcelona against Vigo. That happened recently.
let
Come
me
on,
come in here for more
come on.
clarity. These referees, if every team or any team should be standing firm on their grounds that we don't want this referee to officiate our game, I think many teams are going to have problems when they are having a fixture against Real Madrid,
Yeah.
because me as a neutral fan in these two teams that are meeting this fixture, I see a lot of times that sometimes when Madrid plays, no disrespect to the lower teams, but when they play those teams, sometimes the results go their way because of referee or linesman decisions. The same way it goes to Barcelona, but it looks as if of late, since the past, I think this season, Real Madrid are becoming a mourning club. They've been mourning about everything, even Ballon d'Or. They mourn that they don't want to go. They are becoming.
Yeah.
I know that they are powerful. They are a big club, but they are using their power to overpower the FA, the UEFA, and the rest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No,
Right
but
now they want to
no,
do is
Kofi,
that they want
Kofi,
to make it
Kofi.
like
If it
every.
was, you see, they say you never know how bitter something is until you taste it. You
You've
never
tasted.
know how bitter something is until you taste it. Because it's not your team, so you are
No, no,
saying that
no,
it's biased. They're
no,
becoming morning clubs
no.
because it's
It's
not your team.
listen.
No, no, no.
No,
Let's be fair. Let's
it's
be
not
fair here.
because
Why did
listen.
you think that? Why did you think that the Barcelona, Madrid didn't go to the Ballon d'Or? What happened?
Because they
Well,
felt okay. Per the news that came out, they felt Vini deserved it, and if he's not going to
No.
win it,
So
he's
to
not going
you, to you, do you feel Vini deserved it or Vini didn't deserve it? To you,
for me, to me, I feel like he deserved it, but you cannot
I
say
rest
it
my
because
case. I rest my case.
no. But you cannot. This is sports. You need to show class. You need to show respect. This is why they wear the badge that respect your opponent. You know what I mean? Show
Yes,
respect.
but then do you know what happened? Let me give you the insight. Right,
Okay.
somebody in Man City called Real Madrid and told them that listen, the Ballon d'Or is not going for Vinicius, so it's going to Rodri. So maybe I don't know for you guys, but then this is what I know,
But
and
it
he hung
doesn't
up the
matter.
phone. So
It,
if you are being told and you know the whole world knows that the Ballon d'Or belongs to somebody, and yet you've been informed that the Ballon d'Or is not going to be for you, why should I go?
but you're not only there just to I mean collect the award. You are just there to grace the occasion.
To grace the occasion for what reason? Knowing that you are being biased because you say you Vinicius didn't deserve the Ballon d'Or because of his behavior on the field.
Okay.
How does this make sense? How does this make sense? But this year, Barcelona people are making agenda about Rafinha for Ballon d'Or. But have you watched his behavior on the field?
Okay, let's
No. Let's be honest. Have you seen his behaviors on the field? Do you see what he did to Diego Aspas? Do you see what he says to referees? But then nobody's talking about that one. But if it was Vini Junior, hey, Asamaba.
Let's hear for
you. I think personally, you're taking this too personal. I understand you're a diehard fan.
Was it too personal?
Some things, right? Some things, as I said earlier, if it doesn't go in your favor, it's always going to be the other way. My point is, yes, this referee in question is FIFA appointed referee. He's been doing this job since 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nearly 8 years. No team has ever come out to say stuff like that about this referee. So obviously he knows what he's doing. He's good at his job. And as I said, if it doesn't go in your favor, that's when you feel like you're being cheated. But I don't think this referee is really going to cheat or do anything in favor of Barcelona. So then what does he gain? Because bear in mind, he's on a FIFA approved referees list. And do you know what that takes to acquire that certification or to get to that level? So I don't really think he's going to do anything to jeopardize or ruin his career, all in the name of being unfair to the other team. So personally, it would just be a rumor. But just because it didn't go in your favor or it didn't go your team's way, doesn't mean the referee is against your team. So I don't really think this is right. It was just a rumor, and I don't really believe it.
I pray.
I'm pretty sure that there are several referees, or that particular referee that he has officiated Real Madrid game, that he has gone in their favor. One or two,
absolutely.
Issues.
We can go on and on. Favor. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Even if it's not him, but there are other referees that has officiated Real Madrid's game in favor of Real Madrid.
Which game?
I'm not saying that particular referee.
But I'm talking about the referees. You are saying maybe some referee. I want to ask which game.
And that's what I'm saying. I said there could be other referees that have officiated Real Madrid's game that the game has gone in favor of Real Madrid.
And I'm saying which game? Do you have a particular game?
But what I'm saying is football.
Every time Madrid has to come out hard to win a match.
Let me ask you, do you mean that since you started watching Real Madrid, there has never been an instances that referee's decision has gone in favor of Real Madrid?
There have been.
That's what I mean.
Not in La Liga. If you talk about UEFA Champions League and other stuff, but not in La Liga. Not in La Liga. Every time Real Madrid has to fight hard. No. Let's be honest. Real Madrid, right? Recently we played.
Okay. Let me come.
One of these Spanish teams. You see that penalty that they gave to Barcelona just recently ago against Celta Vigo, Daniel's penalty.
Yeah.
Right. The same incident happened Real Madrid against one of the team. No call. Why?
That was a different referee, right? That
was
a different referee.
So there's a different referee. But he said there's a time that some referee has gone that has resolved and gone in favor of Madrid. Which referee?
Let me come in here. You remember you had a game against Villarreal. Let me come in. You had a game against Villarreal, and Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. And I think he scored 2 penalties or so. If you look clearly, those 2 penalties, they weren't penalties. Even after that game, some of the Real Madrid players took on social media to vent their anger on that, because it wasn't a penalty. But my guy, he was ready and he was in the race for the golden boot, so he needed the goal badly. He grabbed the ball and then he smashed it in. The second one, look, we all watch football. A defender brings his leg. We all know that obviously as a striker, he's gonna call for a fall.
Yeah.
You understand? The defender brings the leg and then withdraw, and then Ronaldo is on the floor. Referee goes penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that time there was no VR, but they have to do review. You know, they show the highlights when you're watching on TV. If you see the highlights, you could see that it's like he was shot by a gun. He dived. He was a good example to enter Hollywood, to be a good actor, because where the defender was, he stuck his leg out there and then he redrew the leg and Ronaldo went to fall. It was abysmal. Even I remember that game I watched in the DSTV center in Ghana, and that center, those Real Madrid fans there, they were all saying that, and then the referee no Abuayo, because that game was tight. That game was tight. I remember that game. That's one instance I can remember.
So,
Yeah.
so for the fact that once in a blue moon something like this happens, so it's like
Oh,
that's how I keep asking you which games have you seen referees saving Real Madrid?
Listen, so far as football is concerned, and human beings are at the center of
Yeah, definitely we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, 100%.
So you cannot
Yes,
say Real
but
Madrid have not been in that
bro,
encounter. They have. See, this people,
see,
3 years ago,
bro,
3 years ago,
I just shut up. I just keep quiet anyway.
3 years ago, I sacked my mind that when it goes your way, enjoy. When it doesn't go your way, keep quiet.
Exactly.
That's how 3 years ago I
it.
sacked my mind.
Yeah.
Because I've seen decisions that has gone against my Liverpool. It doesn't go against Man City. But there are games that decisions go for my Liverpool, it goes against Man City. That's football. For the last 3 years, I've sacked my mind on that issue. Because we've been trying to do everything that we can to make this football enjoyable. But the problem I'm having is that I think the referees or the officials, they are struggling to use the technology VR in the game because they find it hard to interpret the laws of the game into the motion of the video that they are watching.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For instance, a player will break someone's leg. It's a straight red. They will ask a referee to go to the monitor and check. And the referee will go there. They'll not give him the action. They'll give him a slow motion. Every slow motion is a guilty offense. Every slow motion is a guilty offense. You understand?
I agree.
So this is where we go. So right now, let's go into the game.
Kofi, let me ask you one question. Did you watch Barcelona versus Dortmund?
Yeah, I did.
First leg.
Yeah, I did.
The first goal, Rafinha's goal.
Yeah.
Well, did you see the VR screen that they brought? The VR distant picture. Did you see it?
No, VR didn't intervene.
VR did. Did you, after they passed the ball, VR showed why they take the ball. They showed the goal.
What was the reason?
Rafinha. They said Rafinha was onside, right?
They said, but to you, was it?
No, that's what they showed. That's what they showed. That his left leg was on the white line.
Okay.
But in the video, in the original video, his left leg was off the white line. Why wasn't that called and checked properly? That they gave us that video of Rafinha being onside. That goal was an offside.
Bro, I've watched my Liverpool. That Firmino has been flagged offside because they said his armpit. They said his armpit was offside.
Kofi, you are. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't get everything clear.
I'm Kofi. No, Kofi. Let's be sincere here. Let's be honest here. If something is wrong, if it is A, let's say it's A. If it's white, let's say it's white. If it is red, let's say it's red. Let's say it's red.
Yeah.
All right. Per the video VAR showed, or the line drawn, or the picture they brought, that Rafinha was on side, and the video, the original play game, was different. Two different scenarios, two different things that's been shown on the screen. Okay. And Kofi, I've sent you the video before. I don't know if you've seen it. I sent you that video.
I've seen that video several times. And listen,
why? How will you say that somebody is being flagged offside for armpit? That is different.
The more you watch these videos, the more you get conned. Because
no, Kofi, we all saw it. We all saw when Rafinha was offside. Honestly, I watched that match. That goal when Rafinha scored, I said Rafinha was offside. Then they said VR check, and they say it was a goal. And my heart was like, how? How was this a goal? When you could clearly see on the field of play that the guy was offside. And the VR come out to bring us a picture of Rafinha's leg on the white line. Meanwhile, his leg was on the white line. Why is this? How is this?
Chip in here.
You and I can go on and on about, trying to justify what is onside and what is offside. There are people that has been paid to do their job, and
Jesus Christ.
they brought out the outcome, and that is what we have to accept. There are so many games that has gone in favor of other teams, but that the opponent has come back to last the referee or the officials or whatever. And as I said, it will still come back to the fact that it did not go in your favor. It is as simple as that. If it was the other way around, I can guarantee you, if it was Real Madrid against Dortmund, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. And just because it went in favor of the other team doesn't mean UEFA, FIFA, or whoever is a fan of that team. That's not how it works. I don't
Nobody is saying
understand why.
somebody's a fan of any
No,
team.
no. From what you're saying,
DJ, I didn't
you're
say the
suggesting. No,
referee or the people in the VR are Barcelona supporters. I didn't say that.
You're suggesting that
No, I'm just
it should have
saying.
been
I'm
offside.
saying that sometimes they don't do their work properly,
That's
right?
absolutely that. I
They
get.
don't do their work properly to bring justification in the game.
That I agree. If you're
So-
referring to the VAR, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's get straight into the game now. I know that Barcelona will be missing their talisman, Lewandowski, the old man Bugia Kokrabone. He will be missing this fixture. So I don't know how Barcelona is going to set up. Deacon, if you can take me through your predicted lineup or how you think Hansi Flick is going to set up or his pattern of play is going to be. Is he going to change or he's going to stick with his principles?
Probably he must stick with his principles, if I'm being honest. It's very difficult to predict a definite starting 11 under this Hansi Flick's team. So I'll probably wait for either a pre-match conference because I cannot personally. I don't really think I can predict the lineup, but I have an idea of who he might start. But as I said, it is very, very tricky with this Hansi Flick side. I think he looks at the team, the momentum. He looks at so many different various things before he actually makes his decision as to who he wants to start. But we know there are key players that he's never ever going to miss. For the likes of the Rafinhas, the Lamine Yamal, the Pedri, the Gavi, there are a few players that we know that they're going to start. But all depends on what is actually going on in the camp and the atmosphere personally.
Okay. Let's go sweet Mo. Take us through your Madrid. I know is Mbappe back. Is it
Yeah,
back after?
he's back. Yeah, he's back.
Oh, okay. But I know you still have some injury crisis at your back.
Yeah, so Alaba will be missing, Kamavinga will be missing due to his injury last time that he had. So he's out for the season for now. Same as Alaba as well. He's also out for the season, out of the season. So those two are not guaranteed to play. So I'm gonna say like what I know probably Ancelotti might go with 4-3-3 formation, meaning he's gonna put Courtois in the post, Asensio and Rudiger at the back, and then the left back could be Mendy or Fran Garcia because according to news or when I went to their website, what we saw is that Mendy is back as well. So maybe he's match fit for the day. And on the right, he might put either Valverde or Vasquez. But I'm going to suggest he's going to put Valverde there. And then the midfield is going to be Tchouaméni and maybe Bellingham and Luka Modric. Then going to the forward, he's going to put Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo. That is the first option I know. Or maybe you can go with the 4-4-2 information to play Vini and Mbappe up front. But me personally, I think if he plays the 4-4-2 and it's not a diamond 4-4-2 with Bellingham supporting Mbappe and Vini, it's going to be difficult for us. But if he play like he did last season, then we have a chance. Because last season, that's what he did, 4-4-2. But then he played the three midfielders and then one attacking midfielder, which is Bellingham on the 10. So he was free. And then he played Rodrigo and Vinicius both on left and right. So it made it easier for Bellingham to penetrate through to the areas where the balls come to him. That's why last time he had a lot of goals. But like you can see this season, that rotation is given a different tactic. So I'm hoping that if you should go with that 4-4-2 information, then it's going to be okay or a bit okay. And my worry is it should be a fair game, honestly. It's going to be entertaining as well. It's going to be, but for us, as it stands, people know that Barcelona are the favorite to win the league, the cup. But then, hey, this is football. Anything can happen. There could be surprises, right? But all like I keep always saying, let the best team win, right? Let the best team win. I only hope that there won't be no controversies after the match.
That's an early excuse.
Well,
Okay.
No,
Let me ask.
let's be
Let
honest.
me get into DK.
Let's be honest. You're my guy. I just say it is. We all hope there will be controversy. No, because the reason why I said that is because maybe, as we're saying, there could be a decision that will go in favor of Madrid, and Barcelona will not have it. Same way, it could be a decision going in favor of Barcelona, and Madrid is not going to have it. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, there's not going to be no controversies after the match.
Okay, we hear you, Bosu. We hear you, Bosu. So DK, looking at this fixture, where do you think Barcelona can exploit Real Madrid to get a win?
So normally I know Barca's midfield is probably one of our strongest, but I'm also concerned about the fact that Baldi is injured and he might be out of this game. Okay. So it will be a very tricky one. I know Koundé like to go forward a lot, but I don't know about Martin, because it looks like Martin is going to start the game because obviously Koundé is out. So if Pedri, I would love Pedri and De Jong to start, because at this point, Madrid's midfield isn't really great. So we can exploit their midfield, because Bellingham is actually, he's out of form, not in such games. It's really not going to be a great threat. Mbappe and Vini definitely not going to track back. We know that. And also, apart from Rodrigo, if he starts. So I think our midfield will be our strongest for tonight. If we start Pedri and De Jong, they can exploit the midfield, and then going forward, Koundé is definitely going to join the attack. And obviously, we've got Yamal Lopez, which I believe Lopez might start, and Rafinha as a threat as well. So my predicted lineup will probably be Koundé for right back. Kubasi might be, maybe Kubasi and Martinez might start as well. And then midfield, Pedri, De Jong, Yamil Lamar, Lopez, and Rafinha, and obviously Torres up front. So it's probably going to be 4-2-3-1. But then with Koundé and Martinez joining the attack, if Martinez start, it's going to be a really interesting game in the midfield battle, just depending on who Real Madrid decide to start in the midfield.
Well, I'm thinking about looking at the form of Dani Olmo of late, how his introduction into the setup that he's always put up. Whenever he comes on or he starts, he's always a threat, and he creates chances as well. So I probably might see him starting in the absence of Lewandowski. Maybe he will start as a false nine, where he will be swapped with Lamal and what do you call it, Rafinha. But if he should start Ferran Torres, I would say Madrid has a chance to get a game 0-0, maybe 90 minutes. Because that guy, I don't know, you need to ship him out. Maybe send him to West Brom. Yeah. And
Torres is not a bad player, to be honest. Just that maybe he just don't read, his leg is not good as Lewandowski when it comes to scoring. So
yeah, but
I think that guy is just a midfielder anyway. He's not a striker.
I was just joking, because when I see his contribution, his goal contribution, I think it's consistency that has put his name into that pecking order. He's not consistent. If he was consistent like the way Dani Olmo has been performing whenever given the chance, he should be on the lips of every Barcelona fan. But sometimes in big games, big chances, he missed them.
It doesn't show up. Yeah.
The big chances, he'll miss it. The easy ones too, he'll miss it. But the difficult ones, it's just like he's our Darwin Nunes, you know. The difficult ones, he will bury it. The easy ones, he will blaze it over the stadium. Um, one thing I want to talk about is the Madrid midfield. Since the departure of Toni Kroos, I think the absence of Toni Kroos in that midfield has really exposed them this season because it's not been replaced. And two, the energy and the attacking threat that they always have in that midfield has been sent to a right back position. That's Valverde. That guy, I rate him so much, but many people, it's like he's underrated. People don't really mention his name. It's always the golden name, Jude Bellingham, this and this and that. But that guy, if I see him in Madrid's lineup and he's playing midfield, I always say, this is a tough game. When they came to Anfield in the Champions League and I saw him at right back, I just said cross in my stomach's like, yeah, we want see. Because that guy in midfield, he reads the game, he ran the show, he controlled the tempo, even when Cruz was there. Right. But for them, I know they've got injury with their right back and he has to play a makeshift. But I think Ancelotti has to adapt in some games. You know, managers and teams, players work out on on other teams. So they've seen that he's been playing right back and they will go and watch his clips, how he positioned, when they are not in possession, where he found himself, they will exploit him. So maybe he play right back today, tomorrow you switch him, you confuse the opponent's game plan. And that's that adaptation that I think Ancelotti has been his problem. He believes that the team always give him his best performance. So you just take them there, go and do your job. But right now, teams have found out how to play against them. And with the arrival of Mbappe, I think the attacking force has been a disjoint, force. They don't play as a team. Because sometimes you see Rudiger with a long ball looking for Mbappe. By that time, Mbappe is not running. He's deep. He's not running. Sometimes Mbappe will make a deep run, but the ball is not coming. Tchouaméni will be passing at the back. So I think, for me personally, I think that's the problem where Barcelona can exploit with the likes of Gavi, Pedri, and then what's the name? Luke De Jong.
Frankie De Jong,
yeah. So, Kwabnamo, how do you also see this Barcelona side that, though you've got injuries and they're also having their injuries that they are crying about, their talisman is not there. How do you see that your Madrid or Ancelotti can also use it as a weapon to, go against Barcelona and get some good results?
Well, as it stands now, what I can say, if only Ancelotti will listen to me or watch this show, then he can pick some stuff and put in his pocket.
The Don Ancelotti, come and watch sports next.
Yeah. No. Sometimes we wish our coaches or the medias or something, they can also listen to maybe this unknown problem, like public people who do this kind of shows. You know, maybe let's say like us, for instance, we are now coming up and stuff. So if they could go a bit low to find such videos somewhere, sometimes they might also pick certain senses of certain stuff from us, because sometimes we also who are the back see what's on the field. It's like in the game of dummy. I don't know. Should I say chest? Is that how you call it in the English way? Chest, dummy.
Draft.
Yeah, draft. We that we are the back, we see what's going on in the field than you that you are sitting and playing the draft. You understand? So sometimes, I'll say Ancelotti does make certain mistakes whereby you sit down and be like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? This could be easier. You understand me? You can see that Mbappe and Vinicius, they are fighting over one side. So you as a coach, let them know that, listen, I'm putting you on the right, be right. I'm putting in the middle, be at the middle. Don't switch your position. The only time you get to switch is when you agree with the other person or you communicate together and listen, let's switch a bit and see how we're going to go. Then fair enough. Last season, when we didn't have Mbappe, we didn't have this problem, because Rodrigo and Vinicius knew that we have no number 9. We are to create the chances ourselves and then pass to each other to score a goal. Yet still, they got the information that Bellingham is a free, so he can run into the box because he's playing an attacking midfielding. You understand? So he gets the chance to go to the box, and then magic happens. Bellingham got over 20-something goals last season in all competitions. You understand? Even in La Liga, he got more than 20 goals. So what I'm saying is, sometimes he has to put egos away and tell him, like, listen, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. If you want to switch positions, communicate with the other guy, because teamwork, that's what makes the dreams work, right?
So
But if there's no teamwork,
do you think
how do you make the dream work?
Do you think Ancelotti is struggling to control the ego in the dressing room?
No, it's not. It's not the ego. He's just not finding a balance between the players. You understand? If you are playing the 4-3-3 information, let those people at the front three know their roles, where they should be. Because, like he's saying, sometimes you look for a Mbappe. Mbappe is not where he's supposed to be.
That's the ego I'm talking about. He feels like
That is not. That is. We'll not say that as an ego. It's just being off position. Because
Okay.
you are number 9, right? They told you, listen, you are the striker now. So you just be a striker, play your striking position. But what happens with what we see in the game? This guy drifts to Vinicius' side. You understand?
Are you saying Mbappe is not coachable then? It doesn't take coach's instruction.
No, it's not coachable. Sometimes in the game, right? Anyway, sometimes in the game, when you're playing football, right? Let's take me, for instance. When I'm playing football, I play defensive midfield. But I get to sometimes I go and play attacking midfield because I realize the person who is attacking is not doing his job. So I switch to that position to play his position for him. It's not that I'm not coachable, but it's like sometimes the heat of the game makes you think to react to how the game is gonna go. But what I'm just trying to say is
that also affect the game.
Yes. So what I'm just trying to say is
that affect the game by switching positions sometimes, because obviously the manager, as a manager, tactically, he knows what he wants his players to do. So if he stick you to one position and then you keep switching, do you not think that's kind of sometimes messes up the whole idea of the manager's tactics and how he actually wants the game to go?
the manager's tactics sometimes doesn't work. Do you know that? And then when the players, that's what I'm saying, it's all about teamwork and communication. Right? We've seen instances whereby, with this last season, Madrid against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
When we went to that away match, you see that pass that Toni Kroos gave this to Vinicius.
Yeah.
It was a different scenario, right? The game plan that Ancelotti took to that game changed because they had a talk. Toni Kroos and the other players had a little talk. They had a little talk on the pitch before the game started. It's like, listen, this is what the coach has said, but we'll run the show. Let us run the show.
So I'm coming. I think with this is making me believe that the news that came out after the first leg of Champions League against Arsenal, that Ancelotti has lost the dressing room because some of his key players apparently do not buy into his ideas and the tactics he used against Arsenal.
Yes, I agree with that. 100%. I will agree with that.
So that's why I'm saying, that's the reason why I was saying then he cannot coach, he cannot handle the ego in the dressing room, because once you are the manager, you should be able to make your stamp on the team. Okay, Mbappe, I've put you on the right. Maybe if you see that this defender is out of position, you can switch or you can swap with this Rodrigo or so. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
if you say this to a player will also apply his intelligence. So as a player, you stay on the pitch, you know that, okay, once my coach says I should stay here, it doesn't mean that if I have the ball and I'm free and I can go and score, I will stay there. No, you have to go. But before you go, if you're in out of position, before you go, you have to make sure there's a cover for you.
Yeah.
For you to cover yourself, because if you go and lose that ball and that ball comes back and score against you, everyone is going to point fingers.
Yeah. So with this Arsenal match, right? I watched it with an Arsenal fan, right? And he's my friend. When I saw the lineup, the first thing I told him,
after the game, you were not friends again.
No, we are still friends. Cool. Football is football anyway. No, come on. I'm not gonna jeopardize my friendship based on football.
Oh yeah, sure.
They are getting paid. I'm not getting paid. I'm only just enjoying it. So yeah, fair said. So when I saw the lineup, it was a flat 4-4-2 information. I just look at me like, this game go hard for us. Because one, Alaba came out from ACL injury not long ago. He's not really fit because he's not going to put his all in. Because if he does and he twists his leg and ankle again, he's gone for life. So the guy is not going to be there. Now you put Bellingham on that left side now to be helping Alaba. You are short. You have 3 people at the midfield. Instead of 4, now you have 3 people at the midfield because Bellingham was coming back and then helping Alaba out. And that guy, if you could see, Saka was like, I'm going to kill you today. And that's what Saka did. Saka messed him up, honestly, both legs.
I think he should have retired after the first leg.
Simple.
He sent him on toast.
Simple. Honestly, I looked at it when I saw the second leg and he was in again. I said, Alaba again. Why can't Ancelotti just learn? The guy has fumbled the first leg for the whole match until he went off. The guy couldn't perform. Why do you still put the guy in there? Look at what happened against Real Sociedad, the Copa del Rey. I think, was it the quarterfinals or something? My guy dashed two goals. Own goals, but to say.
Okay.
Before taking the guy out, the guy is gone. When you have ACL, it's difficult for you to be in form again.
Let me ask this one. The King, do you think any team that wins tonight will give them huge confidence go into the remaining fixture of the La Liga?
Absolutely. I mean, as per history of the game, half the time, especially with the final, any team that wins normally, as I said, as per history, goes ahead to win this game. And it is as bad as I want it. I know it sounds like it is going to be our only chance to win. Hansi Flick's chance to win double or treble this season, and I don't think he's going to take it lightly. He knows what he wants, and he knows what the boys want. So I believe it is going to be a very, very difficult game. But as a Barcelona fan, of course, it's always going to be in favor of Barcelona, which I believe it is going to be a win for Barcelona. And then, as I said again, going back to the history of this competition, I know Barcelona has won it about 31 times. Madrid has won about 20 times. So the history, in terms of history, it's more likely that Barcelona can win according to history if we want to follow history. But it's football, as Mo said. Anything can happen. But may the best team win. But I believe Barca has a better side this time. Not because I'm a Barcelona fan, but I feel like we are more better possession defensively. In so many areas. Madrid this season they're lacking few bits here and there, and this is what makes me think it is going to be a win for Barcelona tonight.
Okay, for me, if you ask me as a neutral, what team I want to win this trophy this evening, I would say you two should lose so that we'll give the trophy to Atletico Madrid because that Simone guy. That guy has been a turbulent for the last 6 weeks. He had to play back to back, like Carlo Hesse. He's playing Madrid. The next week he's playing Barcelona. The next week Madrid again. Damn, he's been. I feel for him. I think this is the kind of trophy that he should be putting his hands on, but
unfortunately,
Barcelona are back in business. I mean, smashing all posts, banging in goals, and their form this season is incredible. But my issue is how they give away goals. Anytime I bet on Barcelona, I know they give away goals. I bet on them for both teams. That's when they go and keep clean sheet.
The nature of the style of play, the nature of
the highline.
See the nature of the game, the style of play for this manager. He plays a very high line. the pressing game. So there's no way. Sometimes it's hard to say that you're ever going to keep a clean sheet against a very well-drilled side, because Barcelona play a very high line. We play with a lot of pressure constantly, and we get exposed from the back because we all see all the time both fullbacks, left and right back normally joins the attack. So if you meet teams that kind of play, have similar kind of formation, you get punished for that. So we get goals that you be giving away, which is the beauty of the game. You can't always keep a clean sheet. Obviously, if you really want to go ahead and score more goals, these are some of the risks you need to take in a game.
Because yesterday when I saw the odds about this fixture for Barcelona to keep clean sheet, I thought it was high until I saw Madrid's own, and I was like, then this game is going to be under 1.5. Because the odds says that Barcelona are likely to concede goals. Their odds was like 4.20, and then I was like, hey, where do you move? It's like it's huge. Then I went and checked on Madrid's own. It's like 6.5. I was like, oh, maybe the VH.
So in terms of clean sheet, again, to history of football, our last few matches that we've played, Barcelona has only managed to keep about 2-3 clean sheets. So the last game against Real Madrid was in January 12 when we won 5-2, and also October last year 2014, that was when we won 4-0. That was the first time in a while. And then April 21st as well, 2024, Madrid won 3-2. There's no clean sheet there. June, Madrid won 4-1, no clean sheet. And then 2023, 4-0, Madrid kept clean sheet. And then, the list goes on and on and on. Between these two, there hasn't been many clean sheets.
Yeah, there's always a goal first.
There hasn't been, because that both teams are going to score. Yeah. So I wouldn't chance wanting to keep a clean sheet, especially, Copa del Rey final. You would expect both teams to score, at least get something, get a result.
Okay. To sum it up, how do you see Barcelona in general, your season under Hansi Flick? In the La Liga, the Champions League, like how do you assess? Were you at the start of the season, were you thinking Barcelona to be in this position, or it was just like the way myself and Oslot came, I was just like, okay, let's see what you can do, and he's done it.
Considering what the previous manager left, I thought it would take him a while to rebuild the team, but he's picked up these young guys and just done his thing differently. He's got a winning rate of at least about 85%. So it looks
he scored more than 140 something goals. Was it 150
absolutely
goals?
Yeah, he has. So
that's crazy stuff.
His winning rate, the stat is crazy. But as I said, I thought it was going to take him a while, but he has really rebuilt the team. He's brought a lot of confidence to these young guys. Lamine Yamal, for example, he's turned Rafinha into a world-class player. He's doing amazing. Personally, I didn't think he could achieve what he's achieved so far. But, as a manager who trusts his players, who give them every opportunity to do whatever they like, to tell them to enjoy the game, I think I'm happy for him. And I'll say he can go a very, very, very long way. And I believe this season he's likely to win the treble for Barcelona.
Okay. I'll say good luck to the rest of the season. Kwabena, let me come back to you. With the situation of Ancelotti, there has been a rumors that if he should win or lose this trophy, he's stepping down or he's leaving at the end of the season. And your target is Xabi Alonso, your ex-player that you want him. How do see him coming to replace Ancelotti? Does it not feel like a big boost that he's coming to fill? And the expectation on him, can he handle it? What's your assertion on this issue?
Yeah, as they said, there's no smoke without fire, or there's no fire without smoke, whichever one they say. There's no smoke without fire, right? But looking at Ancelotti this season, I would say he's done quite well because of the injury crisis that we've had. But then we keep pushing. Yes, we've lost some games when we are supposed to win them and all of that. But well, the team is demanding, the club is demanding, and if they want Ancelotti to step down and bring in somebody new, then we should expect that maybe that season for us is going to be like how Ancelotti left it. Let's face the fact, right?
But new manager can come in and there will be a new manager bounce. You know, these players, especially those players that has not been playing, when a new manager comes, it's like start afresh for everyone. Everyone feels like I've got a chance to prove myself to this manager. And new managers, when they come, they want to give every player a chance to prove himself
That's what I'm
before they
saying. That's
decide
what
to
I'm
keep him
saying.
or not.
That listen, Ancelotti knows the players, but what
Okay.
Ancelotti fails to do is sometimes give these youngsters a chance. But I would say that the games that he gives these young ones the chances, right, is not actually, let's say, a game whereby they can really learn, right? Let's
Yeah.
say like this Adagula and Hendrick. Normally he plays them in the Copa del Rey. That's when
Yeah.
he normally plays them up. You
Yeah.
understand? He starts Hendrick and starts Adagula, and they've done brilliant well in the Copa del Rey, which I'll give them that. And but in the leagues, right, when you're playing certain teams like Celta Vigo, you are playing teams like Real Sociedad, you are playing teams like Getafe and all these people. At least give these kids a full second half chance. You understand? Give them a full second half chance because you're not taking out the whole squad. You're just taking maybe one or two players out, just replace them, right? To give them that confidence to be able to play in the leagues as the time goes on. But you don't do that. You bring in sometimes Hendrick in the 78 minutes, 79th minute, maybe sometimes even 82nd minute. You do the same thing to Adagula. How many minutes that guy is going to perform on the pitch to prove his point? Look
Well,
at him against the last game we played. This before coming to the we played this last game that we won 1-0. Adagula scored that goal. Look at that
exactly.
boy, how brilliant he was. You were
Uh,
playing
you know,
as
these old school coaches, they see football as a business entity. It's a resource entity.
a resource
So
entity. The people that you put in.
they always want to give trusted players the chances to give
Yes,
them
and these
results.
And
trusted
they
players.
also have their principles anyway. They play with
That's it.
principles.
Yeah. If you see
They
the
don't.
young, if you see the
No,
young managers, they are the ones giving young players chances. But if you
yeah,
see the old players, the old managers, they don't like giving young. For instance, Conte wouldn't go and buy a young player. Conte will want old man because he want quick results, quick fire. He doesn't
and
want
that
to
is
be
the
giving.
mistake. That's what I'm
That is
saying.
it.
Listen, you see, with this Adagula start I'm talking about, when you watch that match, Adagula was on like Tony Cruz. I'm not saying he's Tony Cruz, but he played like Tony Cruz. And even
Yeah,
at the end of the day, got the goal.
yeah.
Right? So give these young ones the chance. You see them on training every day, proving themselves to you. But like you are saying, he's going forward, trusted players, old legends. And these
Right.
people are not giving you results as you expect. Whilst you have the young ones on there who can maybe what give you that result, give them the chance. If they don't prove themselves, then you be like, okay, you know what? I've seen you enough, so you rest a bit. Maybe in this game you can start in these games and this game. You put Hendrick. Hendrick's come on. We are a Champions League. He won you a goal. He won the game for you. We played against some other team. Hendrick scored 2 goals. Young Brazilian. He scored 2 goals. Right? Adagula scored a goal. Free kicks. Adagula takes dangerous free kicks. Even his corners, he crosses and then he goes in. The guy has the talent there. You see with Lami Yamal, right? Everybody is saying that he should give credit to Xavi because Xavi brought him into the first team and he was given a chance.
Xavi is
When
a
he
young
started,
man. That's what
the
I'm
guy,
saying.
that's what I'm saying. The guy came in first. He was making certain mistakes, but then he picked up because he got the game time.
Yeah.
Why don't you give these people the game time as well?
See, the issue is, I remember when Conte was in Spurs. At a point, he had many injuries, and he refused to play the young players. They were on the bench. He was keeping them on the bench, and sometimes you can go first 11, first half, no change. Second half, maybe make only one change. Meanwhile, the players were old, they were struggling for form, injuries, confidence. So that was the time, but he never gave the case chance. Look at that player, defender Jet Spence. He shipped him out on loan. When the new manager came, he gave him a chance and he's grabbed it. Now, Odogi has to sit on the bench because he's lost his position.
Yeah.
You see? So I think it's either the Italians or the old managers, the old school managers. They don't like giving young ones chances.
Yeah, but then how do you improve your team if you don't do this? Because they are young players, they are upcoming. Watch this game, Real Madrid playing
Let me give
against
you an
Napoli.
example. You see Inter Milan manager
Yeah.
Inzaghi.
Yeah.
Tell me one player that is like 18, 19 that he's giving a chance in his team, in his career.
Well, I don't know their squad anyway,
You
but
have to be 27, 29, 30. Oh, it's true. Look at Inter. If you go to Syria, when they strike the average age of Inter Milan, you run away.
Yeah.
You run away.
24.
Yeah, the average age is killer, and I think it's either Italians. They want to they are stubborn. They have ego. They stick with their principle, whether it's working or not. They are not going to change.
and then you'll be out.
I think most managers feel like the older players have more experience on the pitch.
Exactly.
That's why. But football has changed a lot. So sometimes it's easier for these upcoming because, you know, these young guys now are very, very talented. They are fearless. They just enjoy the football.
Yeah.
Unlike many years ago. So now the young guys knows what they want and know what
They
they're
want.
doing on the pitch.
They are hungry.
The level of confidence they have when they get the ball, and even with and without the ball, it's different from, you know, many years ago. So I feel like I agree with what Mo is saying. These young guys needs to be given game time, and that's the only way to be able to build their confidence in the game.
Yeah. 100%. That's what I'm saying. Look at Lamine Yamal is the best example.
This is why I think some teams, when they're recruiting managers, they get it wrong. Because if I'm a team CEO or sporting director, and I feel like our youth system, we've got quality youth players in there, and I'm recruiting a manager. When you bring your CV, I'll ask you, we've got some few young talented players here. What can you do for them? If you tell me you're not going to use them, we'll buy this, we'll buy that. I'm not going to stick with that principle because I want my team to be a youthful team that grows. You understand? Those players in that youth system, when they see their colleague getting opportunity into the first team, it gives them confidence.
Yeah.
It gives them confidence.
Also get there.
If I step up, maybe next season it might be my turn.
Yeah.
Or if an injury comes, it might be my turn. So that's how it's supposed to be. But sometimes you see a sporting director, he will go and then recruit a manager who doesn't buy into youth. And this is the problem Spurs were having. Going for Conte, I think it was a wrong idea because he doesn't go into youth. And Tottenham, we've known Tottenham to be a team that has been producing from youth. You understand? So if you go for a manager that does not, put his business into youth side, then it's not going to work for you. It's not going to. If you go to a team like Brighton, they have the youth system, but they still buy the unknown players and then polish them. And then obviously Chelsea will come with a big money, and then they'll sell to them. You know what I mean? So
you know this Nico Paz.
Who?
Nico Paz. He was in Madrid.
No, I don't know him.
Oh, Nico Paz. Madrid against Napoli. He scored a goal. I think the second or third goal. That was his first Champions League ever goal. And that was the time that he was given a chance to come into the game. And the guy delivered, right? But now it got to a certain point. Madrid was like, okay, Nico Paz, we want you to leave and walk. Do you know what the guy is doing in Como now? He's in Italy.
Oh, Fabregas took him.
Combo, the Como team or whatever they call. The guy is like their talismans now.
Okay, let me give you one instance. You know Ancelotti, when he was in Everton.
Yeah.
He had a youth player in the Everton system. What do you call it? the guy at Newcastle now, Anthony Gordon.
And Gordon, yeah.
Gordon, yeah.
He gave him one chance. This guy shined. The next minute, he put him on the bench. The next game, he sent him back to reserves.
Oh.
When he was asked in a press conference, he said in Italy, when you let the kids start eating with the big boys, they get ego and then they feel like they are big boys now. See, so the Italians, they are disciplinarian. You get what I mean? So it's not just coming about, it's where he's from. It's coming from where he's from.
How can you say this as a coach? How can you say this as a coach?
Yeah.
If you don't give that boy a chance to also have that feeling that, oh yeah, I'm playing with the big guns, so I have to prove myself and like play my heart out. What do you expect?
And of course, football is all about chances. That's what every player is looking for. All
Yeah,
they want is just one
get the chance to play their hearts, because these young kids are hungry to win trophies. They are hungry to play the football. If you don't give them a chance and you still rely on these old cargoes and they are not delivering for you, then you go down the drain and you lose your job. Remember, your CV it's not gonna look good. You went to this team and then you flopped. The whole season you didn't win no trophy.
I can see your eyes how frustrated you are. Spain is just around the corner. Go and meet Ancelotti. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me for this beautiful preview of the Classico. As you all know, I support the best team that wins, and I'll be happy to see my boy Lamine Yamal with a trophy or Mbappe with a trophy. So good luck to the best team, and later on we'll catch up for the reaction about this game. Thank you for joining me.
3-1, my prediction.
3-1. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Barcelona?
Oh, it's just a 1-0 game against Barcelona. Don't worry.
Oh, you win 1-0. Okay.
1-0. Counter attack.
Good luck, Mo.
Let me say to my audience. D-Kane happens to be one of the finest DJ in UK. If you're having any program, weddings, christening, any kind of program, funerals, any kind of program, you can book him. Apparently, on the 26th of May, he's already booked. I've booked him for Liverpool jams. When we win the league in Liverpool, we'll be doing the Soloku. Yeah, so I would like you to put your social media handles for my audience to follow you. If they need you, they will contact you.
On IG is DJ D-Kin. Okay. And on Facebook it's Nana Osei Kin, and then into brackets DJ D-Kin. Snapchat Nana Osei Kin. So but you search all social media DJ D-Kin.
All right, and he's on YouTube as well.
I am on YouTube as well. Yeah, DJ D-Kin Global on YouTube.
Sweet Mo is a global Sweet Mo. On Facebook, on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, he's Sweet Mo. But Ancelotti is not making life sweet for him now. Thank you for joining us. We out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May the best team win, though.